First see the movie Front of the Class.
Front of the Class?
Yeah.
No, I've never seen that.
It's a movie on HBO this afternoon in Taiwan, and it describes a person in the United States has a problem, one kind of symptom. It will make him to cannot control the voice, the muscle. Sometimes it's related to the brain, the nervous. And since he was very young in the school, the principal, the teacher asked him, don't do that to disturb in the class, don't do that. Everybody blamed him. And his mother took him to see the doctor, but the doctor could not understand. So finally his mother did one thing, went to the library to check a book. And finally, he found it. I will give you the name of the sickness after the coach. Yeah, so, yeah, finally they found. Yeah. When I see this movie, it touched my heart.
It takes some detective work sometimes.
Yeah.
So let's review. So it sounds like you're somewhat encouraged with this visit to the doctor.
Pardon?
It sounds like you're somewhat encouraged with the most recent visit to the doctor when we discussed the breathing with you.
Yeah.
Good about that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Very good. So that's a good result.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about this breathing now. What you were going to try last week is the idea of letting your stomach, get relaxed when you breathe in, and then having it go so your stomach goes out when you breathe in, and then comes back when you breathe out.
Yeah.
So you're breathing in and out a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Last week, it looked like you were starting to get the idea of that. So tell me how that has been going with you in the last.
2 or 3 major readings. First one, expand out, but get the limitation, and the brain, the feeling of the brain, like someone is hitting me inside. When I
like a headache, you mean?
not headache. It's like a kind of the blood cannot go up.
Okay.
Yeah, like in my imagination, it will be like this. The deep breath, the lung want to expand, but the limitation of the thoracic, so it squeezes the heart, my heart. Then the body supply got some disruption. Yeah, so my brain kind of like the flash, the light is out, kind of dark a little bit, but
So is that because you're saying it's a little, you feel like you're getting dark or graying out? Is that like you're getting dizzy or something?
No, not dizzy. Dizzy was before. The dizziness I can conquer now. It's like the beginning of the dizzy, or someone is going to pass out. At the
lightheaded.
Yeah, like at the very beginning stage of the passing out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, something, and you get that when you're practicing the breathing.
Yeah. Of the abdominal breath.
Okay.
Also, yeah.
Right. Here's something that's important to keep in mind. It sounds like that is a characteristic of hyperventilation.
Yeah. I know.
And so when you're doing the breathing exercises, you should be careful to match how much you're breathing with how much air you need at the moment. So if you breathe too much, you'll hyperventilate. So you probably want to slow down the breathing. So when you're doing the exercises, you may be breathing more than you need to breathe, which would lead to the hyperventilation. So slow your breathing cycles down. Make them slower.
I see.
And see if that helps. Because I often see that with people that I work with on breathing exercises. They will be working on the breathing exercise and be doing the breathing too frequently, which leads to the hyperventilation. So you have to slow it down so it matches what your typical respiration would be. 15 breaths a minute, or whatever your breathing is normally. And the way to check that would be to simply sit, relax, and count how many breaths you take in a minute. When you're relaxed, get a count. Then use that same number when you're doing the breathing exercises. So you wouldn't breathe more frequently in a minute when you're doing the breathing exercises than you would when you're just breathing normally at rest. Making sure those two numbers line up. Is that clear?
Yes. So what's the average number, a range?
Well, it varies with people depending on their respiratory status. It could be 12 breaths a minute, 15 breaths a minute. It varies. The average range is not as important as what you do. So what's normal for you. So you can just sit at rest for a couple of minutes and just breathe, relax, and keep count of how many times you breathe in and out on average in a minute, and use that as your target.
I see. But Michael, I don't think it's the hyperventilation to me, because I understand the meaning of the hyperventilation, but the problem is, it's when I don't shank my chest, just don't control everything, and breathe in a normal way, the feeling comes.
I'm sorry, when you breathe in a normal way, what happens?
The feeling of the air is hitting the brain comes. And
Even when you're breathing in a normal way.
yeah, especially it is a normal way. If I relax in a normal way, I get the feeling like that. Plus one more feeling is I can feel the muscle inside here wants to expand, but
Right.
cannot.
Okay, good. Stay right there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So what you're talking about, when you breathe in, the muscle in there should expand and go more, drop lower. That's your diaphragm.
Yeah.
So as you breathe in, and that's what we're trying to do by getting you more relaxed in the stomach, just like that, Joe. That's actually better. Right. So that allows the diaphragm to drop down to bring air in. So that's quite good. That's what I'm seeing there looks a lot better.
Yeah, and Michael, you know why it is better? Because I have to exhale, use the with the power to exhale the air out. Then, when I inhale, here got more movement. I have to exhale with power, with some extra energy. If I don't add any energy,
Right. Okay.
no movement.
Two points.